Thanks so much, Marquette and DePaul on FS1 from Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois. It was a late start to the season for the Blue Demons of DePaul, but tonight they put the wraps on the season. It's senior night. Pauly Polycap, the senior transfer from Manhattan College. Ray Salnabe, the transfer from Monmouth. And Charlie Moore, the three seniors saying goodbye tonight. But if they're going to say goodbye with a win, Nick Baugh, Charlie Moore's going to have a big game.
No doubt about it. He's by far the most important Blue Demon. And you look at DePaul's two conference wins, Charlie Moore scored over 20 points in both those games, 24 at St. John's and 21 over Marquette about a month ago against this Golden Eagle squad. So they need a big game from Charlie Moore. And then for Dawson Garcia, you look at Marquette, they're without Theo John tonight, who's under the weather. Justin Lewis is still working his way back from an ankle injury. So really Garcia is the only legit full-strength frontline guy. So they need Garcia to dominate the paint and the glass.
Our starting lineup sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. As Nick mentioned, Theo John out. He's under the weather. It's a non-COVID illness. So Justin Lewis, who just came back last game against UConn after missing 7 games with the ankle injury, the freshman from Baltimore, gets his first start tonight. There's Theo John. We talked with Steve Wojciechowski earlier today. He said he's under the weather. He wasn't sure at shoot-around to practice earlier today if Theo John would be able to go. It's, I think, a good sign, Nick, that he's on the bench, just not quite feeling up to snuff to get out there on the court tonight. Alongside Nick Baugh, I'm Kevin Kugler, and we are ready to get this one started. DePaul won the first meeting 68-61 at Fiserv Forum on January 23rd, and Marquette would like nothing more than to get a little revenge here tonight against DePaul on their home floor.
And Steve Wojciechowski has told us you want to play through the paint. Good start there with Justin Lewis getting a flush.
Well, playing through the paint usually means better things for Marquette. They're 10-6 when they win the battle in the paint. They're 1-7 this year when they lose points in the paint. We're going to keep an eye on that battle all night long for Steve Wojciechowski. That's a big, big factor, and it has been all season. As DePaul goes into the paint, the miss from Pauly Polycap and the rebound to Jamal Cain.
When it's not just bigs getting into the paint, it's this guy. Carton needs to get into the lane and make plays. It's another way to score in the paint.
And the turnover, trying to hit Cain in the corner, and the pass out of bounds back to DePaul.
So you take a look at just simple pick and roll basketball, and you know Marquette's really missed this guy. Lewis, you know, Marquette's struggles over the past month has coincided with Lewis's injury.
Well, we saw the impact he had in the Wisconsin game earlier this year when they beat the Badgers. 18 points in that game. A big, big plus for Marquette, but out 7 games with the injury, and Marquette has really struggled in that time, as you said. There's Jamal Cain to the foul line. That jumper rims out, and the back tap pulled down by Romeo Weems. DePaul looking to push with Charlie Moore. Moore inside, traveled with it. He almost traveled on the wing, got into the paint, and took the extra step. The turnover back to Marquette. Dave Lato, the head coach of the Blue Demons, in his 9th season. And what a year they have had. Didn't play their first game until December 23rd, wrapping up the regular season here tonight. In the blink of an eye, the DePaul season in the books. And we had a long conversation with Coach Lato this morning about what this has been like. He said, I could talk to you guys for 7 hours about all the things that we had to deal with this season. And there's a sense of exasperation, and it's not just from him, Nick. You and I talk to coaches in the Big East and across the country all year long, Steve Wojciechowski among them, and that sense of exasperation at times has been there with all these guys. This has been really difficult territory to try to navigate with your team, completely isolated from everybody else, as every college team has been this year.
It absolutely is. You see a moving screen for Marquette, and you think about DePaul. Yeah, they're breaking in 7 newcomers this year. So in the midst of all the COVID issues, you're breaking in a bunch of freshmen and transfers, so that's challenging. And you know, we asked Steve Wojciechowski, hey, what's your message to the team here this final, week or two of the season? He said, to just embrace the fact that you feel fortunate to be able to play. So there's just some gratitude even in the midst of the frustration.
Charlie Moore fakes the 3. The step in 2 won't go, and the rebound caroms into the arms of Jamal Cain. Slow start for both offenses. A 2-0 ball game, and the long pass ahead doubles the score for Marquette as Dawson Garcia is on the board. And attacking, very aggressive from Darius Hall, and he draws the foul. And DePaul will look for its first points at the foul line.
I think the more Kevin DePaul can speed this game up and get the tempo up, and usually they do that by dictating things with their defensive energy and intensity, the better it's going to serve DePaul. You know, DePaul is dead last in the Big East in three-pointers made per game at about 5, and so they just have a hard time scoring in the half court. So the more they can use their defense to springboard their offense and get in the open floor, the better.
Yeah, the offensive struggles have been the thing that has plagued DePaul this year. When you look at their defensive numbers, they're 45th in the Ken Pom ratings as far as defensive efficiency, which is the best it's been under Dave Lato, but it's the offense that's languishing near the bottom of the Big East in so many categories that's really kept this DePaul team from getting things done. As the offensive foul is called, Justin Lewis picks up his second personal foul. And so 2 quick fouls for Lewis, who is replacing the ill Theo John tonight.
Yeah, certainly there are two guys you really don't want to see get in foul trouble, and it's Garcia and Lewis, because you're just so thin in that front line. And so now Marquette's advantage, their size and strength in the interior, they got to play small ball, where they're going to play 4 guards around Dawson Garcia. So be interesting to see how Steve Wojciechowski kind of manages things here with foul trouble in the front line.
6'4" senior Kobe McEwen, who had been a starter for a good chunk of the year. He's on the floor now, and he'll have to play a big role. Good ball movement on the bounce from Moore to find Romeo Weens, and DePaul on the board.
Yeah, DePaul's last in the conference in assists, and it's not because Moore can't pass. It's because a lot of guys just haven't made shots. That's a heck of a play from Charlie Moore, and a good example of just why he just needs to be aggressive and attack.
Jamal Cain will launch from deep. That one rims out. And DePaul with the rebound. One and done goes Marquette. Up the floor comes Charlie Moore. And the takeaway. Carton looking to push. Numbers if they hurry. 4-on-2. Little hesitation. McEwen with a good pass to find Jamal Cain for the easy bucket.
Really good pass from Kobe McEwen, who's lost his starting spot but has stayed positive and can now provide a big punch off the bench.
Garcia got moved off his spot. Paulie Paulicap, the veteran, the senior, the grad transfer from Manhattan College on his senior night, part 2, makes a nice play. Carton held up on his way in. Salnave with the foul, his first.
Well, Kevin, both these teams have had a hard time taking care of the basketball all throughout the year. As you take another look at Paulie Paulicap and his nice move in the interior. But I think turnovers is going to be something to track both ways for this evening. You know, certainly we talked about how important points are in the paint for Marquette, but turnovers have really bit both teams throughout the year.
And how about this for a surprise? Theo John on the floor for Marquette. Didn't go through practice earlier today. Did not go through warm-ups with the team tonight. But there's Theo John out on the floor in the first 4 minutes of the ball game as McEwen's 3 splashes home, and Marquette's got the 9-4 lead.
On a good hard roll from Theo John, kind of sucked in the defense as well, but huge that John's available to flex his muscles inside.
Inside, Moore's little runner will drop for DePaul, and Charlie Moore on the board with his first 2 points.
He's smooth, isn't he? Moore's just got a nice, silky smooth Chicago-style game. So capable of scoring and making plays.
Had 21 in the win over Marquette earlier this year as Theo John banging around inside. Can't get the shot to fall. The rebound chased down by Weems. Now DePaul will look to push again. As you said, Nick, trying to pick the tempo up a little bit in this game as Salnave spins baseline, and over to get the block is Jose Perez. Now Perez, the trailer in transition, the 3 off, and Moore with the rebound for DePaul.
Yeah, Perez is ultra aggressive. The Gardner-Webb transfer has a scorer's mentality.
Moore barely rippled the net with that 3 from the top of the key, and we're tied at 9.
Moore's off to a good start, Kevin. That's a great sign for DePaul. Again, DePaul's just had a hard time scoring, and they need their top gun to be firing early, and Moore is.
Moore averaging 15 per game. Jumper by Greg Elliott. That rattles home. And for Elliott, his first 2 of the night. Marquette back on top by a pair. Here's Darius Hall. Hands it back to Moore, and we've got a whistle and a foul is called. Carton limping around a little bit after that play. And a timeout on the floor in Chicago.
How about Kobe McEwen coming off the bench? Instant offense, knocking down a triple. And on senior night, Moore trying to do more for DePaul.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Ball. We said at the top of the broadcast, Nick, if DePaul was going to stay in this game and have a chance to win it, they'd need a big performance from Charlie Moore. So far, so good for the Blue Demon senior.
I think Charlie Moore has tried to pick and choose his times to get his teammates involved and to look for his shot. And I think tonight he's come out with his foot on the gas, which I really like. You saw the nice backdoor pass. You see the floater. You get Velcroed to a screen. Charlie Moore will make you pay. Really like what I've seen from Moore early. So now, conversely, Marquette's got to do a better job, Kevin, of corralling Moore, especially in those ball screens. They've been a little bit sloppy in that regard, and they've got to tighten that up.
Marquette will inbound. Jamal Cain ready to pull the trigger. Symir Torrance, 6'3" sophomore from Syracuse, New York, will bring it up the floor. And we've got a whistle away from the basketball. A little bit of conflict underneath as Darius Hall and Dawson Garcia were tangled up.
Well, Kevin, with Paulie Polycup out of the game, DePaul gets really thin. I mean, take a look right in the middle of your screen. Hall's just kind of swimming in it, trying to defend Garcia in the post. So, you know, Polycup will come right back in to try to bang with Garcia. So a little bit of chess match.
And 2 fouls for Darius Hall as a quick bucket for Jamal Cain stretches the Marquette lead to 4. Here's Moore off that weave, gets into the paint, muscling that one up, and an offensive foul for Charlie Moore. That's his first and the 4th team foul. We've seen several offensive foul calls already tonight. John Gaffney, Tim Clockerty, and Brent Hampton are officials, and they're keeping an eye on the offensive whistles so far tonight.
Perfect example of kind of what's ailed DePaul, though, is just not enough perimeter shooting to keep the help defenders stretched out on to the three-point line. So there's just a ton of bodies that Moore is barreling into, and he gets a charge.
Here's Torrance looking baseline. 3 Blue Demons corral him there. Torrance will try again. Double team swarms Perez. He'll drive right into it. Drops it off underneath. Garcia is fouled. And Dawson Garcia, after the foul on Kobe Elvis, trying to shake that one off a little bit.
You know, Moore got caught in a mismatch, and Perez just put his head down and attacked the basket, and that kind of drew a bunch of defenders and dropped it off to Dawson Garcia, who took one to the dome. But you know, that's one thing that's always been problematic for Charlie Moore at times, is when he can get switched onto bigger guards, they like to take him into the post and try to beast him down there.
To the line goes Dawson Garcia. Preseason Big East Freshman of the Year. Nick, he is the top-ranked freshman scorer and rebounder in the league. Will he be postseason Big East Freshman of the Year?
I think he will. I thought Posh Alexander made a big push earlier in January and early February, but Garcia's just been too steady, too solid. He had a great performance on the road at North Carolina. I think that guy right there is going to be the Freshman of the Year in the Big East.
Terrific driver, and we've seen that ability to play around the basket or away from the basket. He can really hurt you all over the floor. Garcia with 4 so far tonight. Here's Moore. Trying to find room on the baseline. He'll bounce it back out. 8 on the shot clock. David Jones to try to go to work. The spin inside, left it short. Offensive rebound, muscling it up is Polycup, and that'll be tipped out. And here comes Marquette on the run. Perez Open in the corner for three. McEwen with his second from deep in this first half. A good sign for Kobe McEwen, who shot just 29% over his last 6 games.
He's really struggled, but you know he's capable. And so Steve Wojciechowski's taken it and moved him to come off the bench. And maybe that's going to get McEwen kind of rolling.
Jones off the fake, had that one rim out. He's missed a couple right at the rim, and layups have been a huge problem. We talked with Dave Lato about that today. This team is shooting, Nick, 50% on their layups in conference play this season. Another chance for DePaul. Step through to the rim. Not going to miss that layup. David Jones back on the board.
Just his 7th game as a Blue Demon, enrolled at semester. Very tough situation for David Jones to just get thrown into the fire. But he comes in and he makes things happen, Kevin. He plays with aggression and confidence for a guy who just got to Chicago.
And Kobe Elvis called for the foul. That'll take us to the under 12 media timeout.
Well, from one Kobe to the other, Kobe McEwen, his second triple, stretching the defense. Marquette up 5.
Saturday on Fox, a crucial Big East doubleheader tips off at 2:30 Eastern as number 10 Villanova faces Providence, followed by number 14 Creighton taking on Butler. The league's top 2 contenders look to gain some steam heading into the Big East tournament. Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Alongside Nick Baum, I'm Kevin Kugler. We welcome you back to Wintrust Arena in Chicago. An 18-11 lead for Marquette, and not an easy thing when you're a young man who should be playing high school ball right now, like David Jones, who just joined the team in January, was an early enrollee for winter quarter. We were talking with Dave Lato earlier today, and the native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic committed and was recruited solely through Zoom. That is the era we are living in right now. He had never been to Chicago, Nick, before he got here in December and January, which is not exactly the time you want to visit Chicago for the first time, but that's what happened with David Jones.
Yeah, what an amazing situation to have to navigate as you see Cavassier McCauley knocked out a triple. But for David Jones, he gets to college, which is hard on anybody. He's got to quarantine alone in his room. You have to socially distance, so you can't really go out and be social with your teammates. And oh, by the way, you got to play in the Big East. And it's a hard thing to have to navigate. But I think Jones has done a pretty nice job with limited minutes.
Nice attack by Jose Perez. The ball fake got him a little space, and he floated that one in for a pair. And he's got a partner, a teammate, if you will, in Keon Edwards, who had the similar situation happen. Now, Edwards had actually been able to visit and was able to meet with Dave Lato and his family. They all got together. But you're talking about 2 kids who couldn't play high school ball. They didn't have the option to play high school ball because of the COVID shutdowns across the country. And so they decided they're going to go ahead and play in college now, and not an easy thing to do. Their team down 4 with 10.5 to play in this first half. In the corner, Symir Torrance's 3 no good, and the rebound to Ray Salnave, and the quick push ahead to Charlie Moore. 1 on 3 for Moore. His attack drops anyway, and it's a 2-point game.
Moore's, I think they listed him at 5'11". He's more like 5'10" probably, but man, has he got a knack for finishing over the outstretched arms at the rim.
Extra pass to Jose Perez, and the 3 makes it a 5-point ball game.
Kevin Perez, he had 35 points against Winthrop when he was at Gardner-Webb. Like, he is a capable scorer, and he's got that kind of mentality.
Six points, his best game this year. Moore in the corner. He'll launch the 3. Long rebound, batted in the air by Polycap, and a second chance for DePaul, and then a whistle. And a stoppage in play. As Moore tried to find in, and it'll be inbound time for DePaul.
Take another look at a good penetration from Torrance, gets the defense scrambling, and Perez knocks it down. He just comes in, and he's one of those guys you almost got to reel him back in a little bit at times with how aggressive he is to score. He just really has his foot on the gas on the offensive end.
After the kick ball, the inbound with 20 to shoot, and the three from the corner not going to go. DJ Carton navigating it up the floor for Marquette. To shoot. Kane has it popped free. Garcia able to secure, forcing it up. He thought he had a little contact there. No call came. Here comes DePaul, down 5. Here's Jones, the freshman, to the rim. That scoop won't go, and the rebound saved, and then out of bounds. Nope, didn't save it. It'll belong to DePaul on another opportunity for the Blue Demons.
Boy, Jones has had some great penetrations all the way to the rim, just hasn't been able to finish when he's gotten there. He's 1 for 4 from the floor, and he's gotten 4 great looks right inside the restricted area.
I like his aggressiveness, Nick. He has been a real aggressor, just needs to finish. Moore felt the contact, pirouettes, and the fadeaway won't go as Carton will start it up the floor for Marquette. Extra pass, McEwen in the corner looking for his 3rd three, but it's rebounded by DePaul, and they'll look to run. Cavassier McCauley to Moore, the little floater, no. And the long rebound tracked down by Salnave. Here's McCauley, his 3 falls. McCauley's got 6, and DePaul within 2.
Yeah, McCauley's a guy that shot 43% a year ago when he was playing Division II basketball. He's an All-American, but he hasn't shot it as well this year, but you know he is capable. Maybe tonight's the night he kind of erupts.
Yeah, just 3 points per game, 8 against Valpo, his best game this year. DePaul off the takeaway in traffic, muscling that one around the rim, and Ray Salnave ties this game at 23.
Now this guy's got to get going, Kevin. Carton's been way too quiet, hasn't attempted a shot yet.
Averaging 12 points per game. They need DJ Carton, the Ohio State transfer, and a turnover for Marquette. That's 8 Marquette turnovers in this first half, and the alley-oop slips through the fingers of Paulie Polacap, or rather of David Jones. Couldn't hold down to that one. Quickly up the floor comes Carton into the corner to McEwen. Over there to get it is Greg Elliott with 2 Marquette players in that corner. Elliott hits the 3, and Marquette up by a triple.
Elliott's been awesome since he's gotten inserted that starting lineup. It has really just erupted his shooting, in particular from those corners. He is lights out from the corner.
McCauley trying to find the range once more, and McEwen, who has 6 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists, up to work again. And McEwen going end-to-end for the one-hand hammer.
Wow! You talk about punching the gas and getting to the rim quick and with some ferociousness.
Well, welcome back, Kobe McEwen. Trying to answer. The 3 from the corner is good. And how about Ray Salnave? Just a 26% shooter from deep on the year. His first makes it a 2-point game.
But again, he's a lot like McCauley is. He shot it better last year at Monmouth than he has at DePaul's, but you know he's capable.
Carton will try. Pinball's out. Rebound out of bounds, and it'll belong to DePaul. Timeout on the floor. Kobe McEwen making some noise on the road.
Look at this crossover. No one steps up, and Kobe McEwen rocks the rim. Woo!
Special.
Marquette by a pair, 5:55 remaining in the first half. Kevin Kugler alongside Nick Bond. If you're a Marquette fan, you've got to feel real good about what you've seen so far tonight from Kobe McEwen, because he has really struggled of late.
Yeah, and you never know how guys are going to react when they lose their starting spot, which he has the last couple of games. But McEwen has maintained a positive attitude, and when you do that, usually good things happen. He's knocked down a couple of threes, and then how about the drive and the dunk? Marquette's needed a boost off the bench, and McEwen has provided that.
Well, we were talking with Wojo about him earlier today, and you'd asked him, you know, how was he handling the bench move? And Coach said, look, he's really done a nice job. He's really reacted well to this. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to be moved from the starting lineup to the bench. He said, but Kobe McEwen has really handled it well. And you're seeing how he's handling it here tonight with 8 points in 12 minutes played.
Yeah, and it sounds cliche, but sometimes you never know what just getting a different vantage point as you approach the game can do for you, whether that's going into the starting lineup or coming off the bench. Sometimes you need to just kind of switch something up, and that's what Wojo's done, and that's kind of what it's about, pressing the right buttons. And I think it's really gotten Elliott to play better and McEwen to play better.
Nice feed and a finish from Romeo Weems. My goodness, Kobe Elvis finding Weems. And this game is knotted at 28. Sheesh. Technical foul has been assessed after this play.
Well, Romeo Weems, meet me at the rim, Darson Garcia. Good back door. You know, and Kev, him and Charlie Moore are really the only two Blue Demons that played extended, legit minutes from a year ago. And you know, I think Weems turned and barked over to some of the bench. This game's gotten a little chippy with a lot of barking going on.
And that barking got a technical foul assessed. And Elliott 1 for 2 in the technical foul shots. So the technical foul has been assessed to Weems, his first. Marquette with a point out of that technical, and now they'll inbound in a 29-28 ball game. Golden Eagles up by 1. Here's DJ Carton. Turn in the corner. Carton inside using the window, but that won't drop. And Weems scoops up the loose ball ahead to Kobe Elvis. The entry to Polycap. Polycap inside, and the hook is good for the senior from Manhattan College, and DePaul leads by 1, 30-29.
Well, back-to-back plays where DePaul's been able to convert at the rim. You know, you pointed it out. That's what Dave Lato told us. Biggest concern offensively is their inability to convert layups. And DePaul's starting to make more of them.
Well, as I mentioned, 50% on the year in the layup statistic in conference play. 5 for 11 tonight, but a lot of those misses, remember, came very early. David Jones found a lid on the rim when the freshman got there several times. They've been able to convert of late, that number going up, and thus the lead with 4:55 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and that's what Dave Lato, I asked him.
One more.
I asked him about being concerned about, you know, the offense, and he said, you know, look, I'm not worried about the threes as much as I am missing layups. You know, and that we just got to start making our shots in the paint and at the rim, and then everything will get easier.
1 for 2 after the McCauley foul at the line. High ball game as Elvis elevates. Rebound Elliott. And Marquette shooting 55% from the floor in this first half. Back to Jose Perez. The 3 from Torrance is short and out of bounds to DePaul. They're shooting 55% from the floor, Nick, but just 4 of 10 now from three-point land, which is a bit of an improvement from what we saw in the first game for Marquette. They shot just 28% in the first half in the 68-61 loss in January.
Yeah, Marquette's had their fair share of offensive woes in spurts. And DePaul's done a nice job of figuring out guys that they can dig off of. They played way off Symir Torrance there and dared him to knock down a shot.
And driving inside, Gervasi and McCauley can't get that to drop, and now Carton will accelerate to the other end. Marquette wants to push early, but DePaul's done a good job of getting organized defensively as Carton will drive inside. That's swept off the rim, but Garcia there to put it back in.
Carton needs to stay aggressive, though. I like that he's continuing to drive and attack the rim.
Feed inside, Polycap spins and draws the foul. Timeout on the floor. 2-point game at Wintrust Arena.
Coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, Illinois, minus their All-American, makes a major statement in Ann Arbor. Baylor, they bounced back to capture their first conference title in 71 years. And we had a buzzer beater in the Horizon League tournament. Kevin, Nick, we'll see you guys at the break.
right, Rob, thanks so much. 3:50 remaining here in the first half. Good ball game, offensive game so far. 32-30, Marquette with the lead over DePaul by a pair in the foul just a moment ago.
You see the attack from Polycap, who's really done a pretty good job, Kevin, of posting up and being productive with his post opportunity. Scored twice on Garcia. There he draws a foul. They really need him because he's the one Blue Demon that's got some beef to him. I mean, you look at him, he's a big, strong guy. And then the rest of the Blue Demons are a little bit more slim and trim. So very important in producing.
Polycap to the line after the foul on Perez. First foul on Perez, just the fourth Marquette foul as a team. Polycap 58% this year at the line.
And Kevin,
and one more for the grad transfer from Manhattan College.
Marquette right now, you pointed out they're shooting 52% from the floor, but their problem is that the turnovers again. It's just been kind of the same old song and dance each game for Marquette. When they don't turn it over, they can score at a pretty good clip, but Steve Wojciechowski has just said, listen, we're just not a great decision-making team. We're not a great ball-handling team. You just got to kind of continue to harp on the unforced errors, but 8 turnovers in the first half has really kept DePaul in this game.
Well, Nick, they have a turnover rate of 18.3%. That's essentially 1 turnover every 5 possessions, give or take. That's not going to get it done, and that's one of the things that, drives a former guard absolutely nuts. And Steve Wojciechowski said, we're just not a great ball handling team right now.
Yeah.
4 on the shot clock for Marquette.
And, Steve Wojciechowski pointed out that some of the turnovers are because you're trying to throw it into the post, and that can be a risky pass at times, and so certainly something to think about.
Elliott with 1 to shoot off the fake, and the rebound off the miss for Ray Salnave. Salnave taking it all the way, using the window to bank it home, and DePaul's got a 2-point lead.
Well, I thought that was a foul. Looked like he got sandwiched. Garcia kind of came and barreled into him from behind, but either way, it's 2 for Ray Salnave.
Around the Garcia screen. Garcia banging with Polycap, and DePaul starts it up the floor. Entry to Polycap. Between 2 defenders, misses that one from underneath, and McEwen will start it up. He had the hot hand early with 8 points. And 1 and done goes Marquette as DePaul looks to push. 2-point game, 2:15 to go first half, going all the way in, and Elvis wraps it around and drops it home, and a timeout taken by Marquette as DePaul has opened up the 4-point lead. After a quick 30-second timeout, we welcome you back to Wintrust Arena alongside Nick Baum, Kevin Kugler. DePaul with a 36-32 lead over Marquette. 2:10 remaining in this first half, and a 6-0 run for DePaul, coinciding, Nick, with Marquette going ice cold here in Chicago. 1 for their last 8 from the floor.
And DePaul's been able to get out, increase the tempo of this game a little bit as well. But DePaul's done a good job of not allowing a lot of conventional post-ups for Garcia. I like how they've defended the big man, too.
Jamal Cain finds DJ Carton. Low pass. Elliott went to get it. The 3 won't go, but Carton there to clean it up, and he'll go to the line for 1 more. Really nice play by DJ Carton.
Man, DJ Carton, this guy, he is an outstanding athlete. I mean, that is a big-time tip-in from a point guard in traffic above the rim. And he has just blown me away in various spots this season with his bounce.
Three-point play complete after the second foul on Weems. 2 on Weems, 2 on Elvis, 2 on Hall. For DePaul, they lead by 1 as we come close to halftime. Salnave will hand it off to Moore. Moore attacking, rejected. There's that athleticism of DJ Carton again as he gets the swat. And Kane fouled up top. The hand check from Keon Edwards, the freshman and the other early enrollee for Dave Lato, who came at semester this year.
But once again, DJ Carton is not a sneaky good athlete. He's just a great athlete. At this point, his length, his explosion, just good on both ends of the floor.
You know, when he transferred into Marquette from Ohio State this past year, and Steve Wojciechowski was asked, you know, give us the rundown on what you've seen from the now sophomore from Bettendorf, Iowa. And he said the first thing he said, Nick, elite athlete. Yeah. Those are the first 2 words to describe DJ Carton, and he has shown that all year long. He fits the bill. He is an elite athlete.
Yeah, when he's going downhill and can take off, you better look out. I mean, he can really play above the rim.
Here's Moore against Carton. We've got a whistle away from the ball, and the foul on Greg Elliott, his first, Marquette's 5th team foul.
Wait, and I don't know, did Dave Lato go to Ed Cooley coaching camp? He's running a little flex offense. How about this from DePaul? Just a little continuity. See, there's going to be a little cross screen. See how Keon Edwards is going to screen for Ray Salnave, then a down screen. Here it comes again. This is something Ed Cooley does all the time.
Jumper from Salnave won't go, but an offensive rebound for Edwards. Here's Moore from 3. That won't go. And in the corner, it caroms off the leg of, I believe, Weems, although the initial indication was it was going to stay on this end of the floor. And now it will be Marquette that inbounds. It is Marquette ball.
But don't you think DePaul's done a nice job of corralling Garcia? There hasn't been a lot of conventional post-ups and trying to throw it into him. And Marquette's just playing 4 round 1. They got 4 guards out there because Justin Lewis got into foul trouble. But Polycap and the rest of the Blue Demons have done a good job of making life difficult for Garcia in post-up situations.
I'm just stuck, Nick, on how much I would enjoy an Ed Cooley basketball camp, because I can't think of things I would like much more than that.
I agree.
Carton's 3 won't go, and the rebound out of bounds, and it'll stay on this end of the floor.
Nobody better than Eddie Cooley.
Can he just tell stories for the whole camp? Because I just listen to those.
I agree.
I don't need anything else. Final shot of this first half coming up. DJ Carton will move with 5 seconds to go. Here goes Carton. Backs it out, extra pass. Kane's gonna have to hurry. The shot is up, no good, and we are knotted at halftime. 36 apiece at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Entertaining first half as these two teams, the final game of the season, regular season for DePaul. Our Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report with Rob Stone and Steve Lavins coming up. Tie game in Chicago. In Wintrust Arena as we get set for the second half. Kobe McEwen, some high-flying antics in the first half for Marquette. Not to be outdone, Romeo Weems throwing it down for DePaul in a tie game through one half in Chicago. Time to take a look at our Jeep Grand Cherokee stat comparison. Even on the scoreboard. And Nick Bob, pretty even statistically. DePaul doing a little bit more damage in the paint, which was a big concern for Steve Wojciechowski, not only tonight, but all season long. Marquette just 1-7 this year when they lose the points in the paint battle.
That's absolutely the first thing that I had my eyes on, was that points in the paint stat. But it's got a flip for Marquette in the second stanza. And Marquette 8 turnovers. Got to take care of the basketball. But how about the bench for the Golden Eagles? Perez and McEwen did a nice job. 14 points between the two of those guys. Really was a big part of that first half. We'll see what Justin Lewis can do as well. He only played 5 minutes for Marquette, got 2 personal fouls. See what he can do on the floor now, number 2 for Marquette.
We saw Theo John for a blink of an eye. We didn't think we'd see him tonight. He's played 2 minutes and has not been back on the floor since. DePaul to work inside with Darius Hall. Ball batted into the backcourt where Romeo Weems tracks it down. In the corner, the 3 won't go. And there's Greg Elliott with the rebound and the push to DJ Carton. The jump pass in the corner, the 3 won't go. And the rebound for Romeo Weems. DePaul starts it the other way. Charlie Moore. Weems the trailer. And the runner for Weems rims out to Dawson Garcia.
Another one of those missed shots in the paint for DePaul. Even though they've won the points in the paint battle, they've missed a lot of layups and shots inside about 10, 12 feet.
That has been a major concern for them all year long. Tonight, 6 of 16 layups. Three on the shot clock. Gonna have to hurry, and with 2 to shoot, a foul is called on Ray Salnave.
Tough. You do everything right. You got Greg Elliott bottled up. Shot clock winding down. You bail him out. Getting a little too handsy, and now a new shot clock for Marquette.
Second foul on Salnave. Here comes Carton around the high screen at the top. Looking for room on the baseline. He's in trouble down there. Needs a little help. And he got it from Greg Elliott. Lewis, the 3. And Salnave clears the board. His 6th rebound of this ball game. Push ahead to Hall. And Moore on the attack. Fortunate not to lose that one in traffic. Seven to shoot for Moore. Moore will launch with 3 on the shot clock. That 3 not going to go, and the rebound out of bounds. Last touched by DePaul's Paulie Polycap. And Marquette still in a tie game. Nothing doing so far, Nick. 2 minutes gone nearly in this second half.
We'll see if Lewis, he settled for a 3, but Lewis and Garcia usually have a nice combination of high-lows and post-ups inside and out at that front line spot, because, again, Marquette's going to have to flex their muscles down there.
Entry to Garcia. Hall defending him in the block. And Garcia's floater not going to go, out of bounds, and a foul is called.
Yeah, Kevin, I just don't think DePaul can guard Garcia or Justin Lewis one-on-one in the post. And Hall's already been in foul trouble. So has Weems and Elvis. Each had 2 personal fouls in that first half. So the more opportunities you can get to just throw the ball into Garcia and Lewis, I think good things are going to happen.
Second foul on Polycap. And the first free throw good for Garcia.
But the hard part,
first foul on Polycap.
The hard part, Kevin, excuse me, has been getting the ball to the big guys. Just like Steve Wojciechowski told us in our conversation this afternoon, is the challenging part has been just getting the ball cleanly into the post. So that's something to watch here in the second half. Those post entries into the big men for Marquette.
Carton nearly with the takeaway. Moore able to track it down, and now Moore in the scramble situation finds Salnave for 3. That won't go, and Garcia, rebound number 3, starts it up for Marquette. Trailing, the 3 in transition, dies on the back iron. Here's Moore running right at Carton. The tip won't go. Rebound plucked by Kane. 0 for 6 in the second half from the floor for DePaul.
See, but I consider that a missed layup. I mean, that's a tip-in that's point blank from DePaul.
And there's Garcia, Nick. And Dawson Garcia looks like somebody who's starting to heat up, and they're going to him more aggressively. He's got 10.
Well, how good is that? That's 6'11", putting it on the deck, doing a little sidestep, jump stop, floater at about 10 feet. That is so good.
16th game in double figures for the freshman as Pollicap tries to work against him. A little dig down from Elliott and a foul on the floor from Greg Elliott, his second, team's first.
And something we haven't probably mentioned enough tonight is Javon Freeman-Liberty not playing again for DePaul in that concussion protocol still. Has missed now. This is 5th game. And that's a big, there's Javon Freeman-Liberty back there. That's a big void. I mean, he was really having a good season. Really good defender, good driving into the paint as well. It's a good player, not available.
And he had been really hot before the concussion. 16 points per game in the 5 games before the injury. Salnave with the step back, and that falls. And the first points of the second half. Nearly 3.5 minutes gone by before that jumper drops for Salnave in a 2-point game. McEwen, nice feed inside. Justin Lewis is fouled on his way up, and Lewis will earn a trip to the free throw line.
Take another look at it. It almost looked like, is there basket interference? It looked like it almost came from through the rim or through the net, but it'd be a good shot on it. Yeah, see that? The hand went through the net. So that should be goaltending. But
yeah, they're talking about that right now.
There's no basket. Hands in the net. It's going to be 2 shots.
So it's going to be, sounds like you're trying to eavesdrop on the officials. Sounds like just going to be 2 shots. But anyway, slice it. I love this guy at the line. I think Justin Lewis, he is your classic plays bigger than he is. He's listed at 6'7", but he has a knack for getting rebounds, creating space, playing physical. He's versatile. He's got a lot of skill. He's a good passer. You know, Dawson Garcia casts such a big shadow that I think lost in all that has been just how good of a freshman Justin Lewis is.
One more at the line for Lewis. 2 points, 3 turnovers tonight. Got into that early foul trouble and didn't see much action in the first half. Slow start offensively for both teams. Just 7 combined points in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And now we've got a foul on the edge. That's Kobe McEwen. Defending on the perimeter gets his first, and that'll take us to the timeout with 15:55 remaining in the second half. A defensive start to the second half in Chicago.
I'm Tucker Carlson.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Alongside Nick Baum, I'm Kevin Kugler back in Chicago, where Marquette on the road with a 41-38 lead. 15:55 remaining in this second half, and Dawson Garcia flexing his formidable muscle early in this second half, Nick.
Yeah, you got to love that Marquette has found a way to get him involved, in particular in this second half. But the versatility of this freshman's outstanding. 6'11", can shoot the 3, can put it on the deck. You see the little sidestep, jump stop, finish. He's got 10 points. He has to loom large for Marquette here in this second half, and so far he's done that.
18 points per game the last 3 games for Garcia. Averages 13 points per game on the year. He'll take a breather right now with the 3-point advantage and 15:55 to play in this second half. Here's Kobe Elvis to work for DePaul. Just 2 points in the second half for DePaul. 1 for 7 from the floor, and we've got a whistle away from the ball again. A lot of action away from the basketball, and this foul on Jose Perez is his second.
Well, this lineup now for DePaul, Charlie Moore not on the floor, so ball movement has to really reign supreme. You have to see that ball popping around. That create the shot rather than just standing and isolating.
Weems trying to enter it into the post, batted away. Shot clock down to 10. Elvis probing. Elvis inside, offensive foul. Kobe Elvis with his third, team's fourth. Already 7 combined fouls in this second half.
Job by Greg Elliott to sell it from the official. See that arm get extended, the left arm of Elvis right in front of the official. Easy call. And it's just been a frustrating night for Kobe Elvis with foul trouble.
2 points, 3 fouls, 1 turnover in 7 minutes. Carton hopping down the baseline, found a crease, and he's got 5.
Man, when he comes off handoffs and has a head of steam, he is really tough to defend.
A lot of traffic in that painted area, trying to get some room in there. The ball tipped away. Somehow ends up underneath in the hands of Polycap, and it goes out of bounds. And again, it'll stay on this end of the floor. It stays with DePaul.
See, but those are those little moments where Polycap's either got to get 2 or got to at least draw a foul. But on the other end, when Carton has a head of steam and he's coming off handoffs, or sometimes he'll even do a fake handoff as he's dribbling, man, is he tough to bottle up.
Saw Charlie Moore come back into the game, and Nick, that has, I'm sure, something to do with the ball not moving the way it needs to move with him on the bench.
Yeah, you tried to steal a couple of minutes, but the reality is you don't want this thing to get too far away from you if you're DePaul.
Salnave stumbling on the way in, and a turnover. That's turnover at number 10 for DePaul. In the corner, Kane backs it out. Kobe McEwen off the fake, drives inside. Extra pass to Elliott for 3, and that ball batted away. Here's Moore. Leaves it behind for Weems. Weems hits the 3, and the first big bucket of the second half brings DePaul back within 2.
Another good play, though, from Charlie Moore. Was able to push it, get into the lane, kick it out. You just need Moore's playmaking.
McEwen, blocking foul, wave off the shot, the foul on the floor, so that bucket doesn't count, and the foul on the floor against Polycap will allow Marquette an inbound opportunity. 15th foul on the Blue Demons.
I like these handoffs from Marquette. Really tough to defend. Get those guards coming with a head of steam. You've seen Carton score. You see McEwen draw a foul. And certainly Polycap now with 3 personal fouls. You cannot afford, if you're DePaul, for Polycap to pick up that 4th personal foul. And so obviously, if you're Marquette, you got to recognize that. Post up Garcia, take it right at his chest.
Here's Garcia going right to work. A little dig down from Salnave. Garcia got it to drop, and you saw Polycap just lean back ever so slightly to try to avoid that contact on the hook.
So you got to understand the foul situation, and Garcia did and took it right at him.
Polycap in the corner, backs it out. Deep 3 from Moore. That's off the back iron, and long rebound pulled down by Kane. Here comes Carton on the push, and Carton took the extra step.
9th turnover now for Marquette. First one of the second half. Been pretty clean so far for the Golden Eagles taking care of the ball. But it's certainly always an area to watch with Marquette, are those turnovers.
4-point Marquette lead. 2 teams that are going to need a big run in New York City if they're going to make anything like a run for the postseason. Of course, DePaul's season starting so late with all the COVID changes and postponements. Not till December 23rd as the turnover comes on an errant pass. And for Marquette, it was a fast start to this season, but they have struggled of late and have fallen to 11-13, 6-11 in conference play. And Nick, for this Marquette team, try to get on a run in New York and hope that their season will be extended beyond next week's Big East tournament.
Well, and Marquette's capable. I mean, they showed you that last week. They went to North Carolina and dominated the Tar Heels, and they're battle tested. They've beat Wisconsin. They played Oklahoma State. They've played UCLA. They got a win on the road at Creighton, and they're shown that they are a capable team.
Well, and you remember that start, 5-2 with wins over Wisconsin and Creighton, and people were buzzing a little bit about this Marquette team at that point, and it's just been back and forth and more losses than wins than for the Golden Eagles. In the post, Garcia to work. His shot blocked. And on the run, DePaul ahead to Moore. And a whistle, contact in the paint, and a foul on Kobe McEwen for McEwen, his second.
Again, we've talked about it. It's always important for DePaul when they get opportunities to run, to attack, and especially with Charlie Moore. He's really tough when he's got space to operate.
McEwen will leave. Symir Torrance returning to the lineup. Here's Moore. Step back deep two. Rattles off. Garcia with the rebound, his fourth.
I like a post up here, Kevin, if you can, for Lewis or Dawson Garcia. They got an advantage, whoever's guarding them.
Here's Carton trying to get the offense started against David Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Torrance looking in. There's that post up you're looking for with Lewis, and an offensive foul. Justin Lewis has had a terrible time staying out of foul trouble tonight, Nick. Third foul, and he's been limited to just 11 minutes of play.
I don't think he needed to do it either. He just needed to kind of do a little peck dribble and try to just beast Hall inside. Instead, he goes with the hook, quick spin, and gets called for the foul.
Turning the corner and getting to the rim is David Jones, and finishing at the rim is the freshman. He's shown a knack tonight for being able to get to the basket with relative ease.
Absolutely. I mean, he has gotten all the way to the rim 5 or 6 times here tonight.
2 for 6 from the floor, and I am almost certain that all of his shots have been within 5 feet of the basket. Marquette by a pair after the Carton bucket. Here's Jones again. That's not 5 feet from the basket. That three well short. And the rebound tipped out of bounds to Marquette with 11:11 remaining in the second half, and a timeout on the floor. Tight ball game. Marquette by a pair. Marquette by a pair. 11:11 remaining in the second half. Golden Eagles trying to get a little revenge after losing to DePaul in January. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text play to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. DePaul needs Charlie Moore to be in the game right now. You see the numbers for the season. His numbers tonight, it's going to take a little bit more work to get to that scoring average, but you know, points and assists are trending in the right direction. The field goal percentage down a little bit, 4 for 13 tonight for Charlie Moore.
I feel like for the most part he's gotten decent looks. He's gotten to his spots, he's gotten to the rim, he's gotten looks from beyond the arc that just haven't gone down, and we'll see if he can start to just get those looks to fall.
Here's Carton in the corner, leaking out for the three. That's short. And the rebound flipped back into play and then out of bounds. DePaul trying to save it, but Marquette's going to get a second opportunity here.
It looked like DePaul was in some sort of a zone. And probably got to protect the front line foul situation a little bit if you're Dave Lato. So you might have to get a little gimmicky here to protect fouls with some different defenses. We'll see what DePaul's in. Looks like now they're straight up man-to-man.
Polycap and Elvis each with 3 fouls. That foul situation that Nick's talking about. 3 fouls for Lewis on the Marquette side. The only Golden Eagle in foul trouble. Here's Carton. Turn of the corner after the handoff from Garcia. Shot clock under 10. Carton back to Garcia again. And an extra pass finds the wide open Jose Perez.
Well, that was terrific. It was an on-time initial post entry to Garcia that set everything up. That was nice from Marquette.
McCauley's 3 Off the heel, and a good box out hold is called. Jose Perez with the box out and is held by Darius Hall.
See, it's perfect timing here because post-entry, sometimes the guy's open for a split second. You got to get it to him in that little window of time, and Carton got it to Garcia, which allowed him to turn and face the defense and read it and find the open Perez. Good things happen when that guy touches the ball.
And good things happen when you start with a decent post entry. Again, that's been a problem this year for Marquette with turnovers, not making the right decisions, not making great post entry passes. But, well, they were able to do it there, and it turned into an excellent offensive set. And now, as we talk about an excellent offensive set, the travel turns it over.
But that's kind of the season for Marquette. You know, when they're able to not turn the ball over, they got a lot of offensive weapons, but just had a hard time taking care of the rock.
12th Marquette turnover. 13 points off the previous 11 for DePaul. And then DePaul says, anything you can do, I can do better. They turn it back over to Marquette. 8th turnover for Dave Lato's squad.
Yeah, both these teams just a little sloppy at times because DePaul, they're last in the Big East in assist to turnover ratio. So they've had their fair share of issues taking care of the rock, too.
Garcia once more going against Polycap with those 3 fouls. Here's Perez. He's been aggressive all night long. Good work inside by Polycap, and then he takes the ball away as it caromed away.
We ran into a brick wall named Polycap there. That was nice.
Extra pass finds Hall in the corner. The 3 pinballs out. Rebound cradled by Jamal Cain. DePaul with just 9 points in the second half, shooting 4 of 17 as a team. That's 24%. Cain in the paint and a turnover. Number 13 for Marquette. Attacking the other end and a turnover for DePaul. Sloppy basketball.
Hey guys, one to stop.
Cain, his 3, no. Moore starts it the other way. Marquette 5 of 13 from the floor and 0 for 6 from 3 in the second half. Seven to shoot. Salnave dribbles it off his foot and another turnover. Back it goes to Marquette in a 4-point game. The 3 is up from Perez. No. Rebound kicked into the hands of Romeo Weems. DePaul the other way. Transition 3. Rims out. Weems the offensive rebound. Weems trying to force it up. That won't go. Another offensive rebound. This is Polycap. He gets tied up and the possession arrow favors Marquette.
Wow, what a sloppy sequence for a couple of possessions there both ways. Yeah, both teams just some poor decision making.
Well, we've now seen 24 combined turnovers in this ball game, and in the second half we've seen 22 combined points. 13-9 in the second half. Marquette outscoring DePaul, and we have 8 minutes to play in the game, so through 12 minutes we've seen 22 total points, and DJ Carton changing that number as he gets to the rim and he'll go to the line for a chance at one more.
Finally some nice offense from Marquette. Get a little ball screen, and when this guy's coming downhill, Kevin Kugler, he is a handful. Easy read up off the window. Marquette up 6.
Old Trapper.
There are the conference standings into this final week of play. Of course, Villanova Creighton tomorrow night. The meat in our triple header sandwich on FS1. Villanova Creighton playing, and there's a lot on the line in that game. A chance for a Big East crown for those two teams when we see them play this weekend on Fox. And you saw the two teams at the bottom, and that's what you have in this game right now. This game's kind of gone to the dogs. 10 made field goals, 12 turnovers combined in this half.
It is certainly.
And DJ Carton going to the line.
It has certainly been sloppy. And, you know, all things considered, you know, Marquette's had numerous opportunities to extend this lead, haven't really been able to do it. And DePaul's had numerous opportunities to crawl back into this thing. And so, you know, right now you try to wipe the slate clean and try to play clean basketball for the final 8 minutes, both ways.
DePaul has not scored in 4 minutes. They've missed their last 5 shots, 1 for their last 7 from the floor as Marquette's defense pushes them out. Here's Darius Hall in the paint, dumps it down, finds Romeo Weems, give him the bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more. That's the way to break a scoring drought.
Well, it all started with handling a double team. See, with Kobe Elvis, you draw 2, you get it out of the double team, and then you attack, and you're going to have an advantage. And a good drive from Hall and drop down to Weems. But, you know, when both teams don't turn it over, they've gotten decent looks throughout the game.
Weems going to the line not only for a 3-point play, but for a double-double. 9 points, 10 rebounds. And there is the aforementioned double-double for Romeo Weems, the sophomore from Detroit. 10 points, 10 rebounds, and DePaul within 3.
See if the ball can go inside to Justin Lewis. See if he can make some things happen in the interior.
Carton looking inside, lost the ball on the way out of bounds, tipped out by DePaul. It'll stay with Marquette, 13 on the shot clock.
Really trying to free up Carton. Sometimes they just love to just get a high ball screen and let Carton kind of cat and mouse it both ways, figure he'd find a lane to attack.
Lewis turns the corner, the flip short, Polycap the rebound, and DePaul will start it up. DePaul down by 3. Charlie Moore, the underhand to Weems, and a foul is called. Weems went up for the shot. Kobe McEwen commits the personal foul. That is his 3rd, team's 7th.
Yeah, and it was definitely a foul. I mean, McEwen just got his hand caught in the cookie jar, hit that left hand of Weems as he's going up. And McEwen may not like it, but it's the right look.
And a good look from our camera crew there. Saw clearly the contact on the left hand. Romeo Weems right back to the line.
You figure it wouldn't be long.
Jamal Cain and Dawson Garcia back in.
You got to get Garcia back in, get him back rolling. He's been a really good source of offense when he's gotten the ball into the post.
Two for 2, 1-point game, 7:06 to go in the second half. Here's Carton. DJ Carton looking inside. Garcia extended against Polycap. Trying to find room on the baseline, and he turns it over. 14th Marquette turnover. Good post D by Polycap, especially with 3 fouls.
Absolutely. He's done a nice job of just being strong inside. He's a little undersized at 6'8", but that was a nice little stand your ground sequence there for Polycap.
Hall needed a little help, got it from Charlie Moore. 8 on the shot clock. Moore on the bounce to Polycap. Oh, a little clearance there to get some room from Garcia, and DePaul leads by 1 with 6:13 to go.
Sometimes you just got to slow down when you get around the rim, and Polycap did just that and was able to convert.
Cain in traffic, muscled that one up, and the answer comes from the senior Jamal Cain. Here's Weems, a casual runner, tipped into the hands of Garcia as it caromed off Weems.
I don't think Marquette needs to trap ball screens with Kobe Elvis. They've gotten too far extended a couple of times.
Oh, Carton on the drive, count the bucket. bucket. One more at the line for the explosive sophomore, trying to pick Marquette up and carry him to a road win.
He has a way of when it's crunch time, he raises his game. And when he gets those high ball screens, he's good going right. He's better going left, obviously being a left-handed player. But man, when this guy's A game is there, he's as good of a guard as there is in the conference.
McEwen back in. Kobe McEwen had 8 points in the first half and has been quiet since then. See if he can get it going late as Carton converts on the three-point play. Marquette's lead is back to 4. And a little mini burst after DePaul grabbed the 52-51 lead.
This Charlie Moore time, he's got to be the guy making the plays, coming off screens. Got foul.
Moore in the second half has really struggled, Nick. 1 for 5 from the floor, just 2 points in the second half, and has not scored since the 12:58 mark in this second half.
Yeah, DePaul's not going to win this game unless Moore gets in the scoring column, or at the very least, you continue to just have the ball in his hands to play make. Yeah, he does have 5 assists, which is good to see, but Moore's just got to have the ball in his hands more.
And we've got a lane violation. In early was Dawson Garcia. So a second chance for Pauly Polycap here on the front end of this 1-on-1.
But just another mental mistake for the Golden Eagles.
Polycap started to run up the floor. I think it's like, you got to shoot again, Pauly.
There you go. That's a big sequence, though, Kevin.
And he converts on both.
You know, you get the lane violation after you miss the first one, and you get 2 more shots at it, you knock it down.
Here's Carton on the attack, and you saw the contact. He bent as he was nudged by Salnave, and so Carton is going to get himself to the line.
Yeah, when it's closing time for Marquette inside the that 5-6 minute mark area of the games, they get the ball to Carton, they get out of the way.
Marquette by 2, 5:18 remaining in this second half. Marquette leads because DJ Carton, Nick Baugh, has started to make a move in this second half with 9 second half points.
Yeah, he has really flexed his muscles on both ends of the floor in the second half. Good block from Charlie Moore. And when he gets downhill, he can score in a variety of ways. There's a little floater here. He gets all the way to the basket through the contact. When it is winning time for Marquette, the ball is in his hands. And you check the time and score, about 5 minutes to go. Tight game. It's DJ Carton time for Marquette.
He goes to the line. 4 for 5 from the floor in this second half for those 9 points. And now 10 second half points for the sophomore, who struggled Saturday at UConn in the loss, Nick. 0 for 9 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3. Nice little bounce back, especially in this second half for the talented guard.
Yeah, and what I like about Carton is he can be quiet the whole game, but when it gets to this stage, he knows how to turn it on and find a rhythm when his team needs it.
That's what DePaul's going to need out of this guy, Charlie Moore, right now. They need him to pick things up. Nice strength inside against Justin Lewis. He frustrated Lewis as he gets the hook to drop.
That's twice now. Polycap's kind of taken his time when he's caught it around the rim and gathered himself, and he's finished both times he's done that. But some more flex offense, little cross screens and down screens from DePaul.
He's got 14 now in the ball game. Here's Lewis back to work inside, and Lewis has the answer. He's got 5, does the freshman.
It posts in the middle of the court. It's really hard to double team and dig when the ball's caught right in the middle of the lane. Good post up from Lewis.
Got Got his first career start tonight, and that's a cylinder violation. You can't get into the cylinder of the player with the basketball, and that's what Jamal Cain did. Imagine a clear cylinder that would drop down over someone, sort of like the cone of silence in the old Get Smart TV series. Well, that's what that is. And they make that cylinder motion. That's a foul put into the rule book and clarified a few years back. Don't see it called as often as you did that first year, but you see it here, and that'll result in free throws.
Yeah, just anything to kind of allow freedom of movement and more offense, trying to deter a little bit of physicality. You don't, like you said, you don't see it a ton, but that was a good example of it there.
One for two for Darius Hall. 3-point lead for Marquette as we approach 4 minutes to play in this one. Carton gets the handoff from Cain. A little weave now to McEwen. McEwen. The jump pass to Carton for the open three, and it drops DJ Carton red hot. He's got 17. He's got a smile on his face, and he's given Marquette a 6-point lead.
And for once, a guy's making a play for Carton. It's usually Carton having to distribute. That was a great pass from McEwen.
Really good feed there from Charlie Moore to Paulie Polycap, and Polycap continues his strong night with 16.
And Polycap's been outstanding here for DePaul.
It's 16 against St. John's, matching his high tonight. That shot short, but Carton the offensive rebound, and Carton will reset the offense. McEwen, baseline, trapped, in trouble. 7 to shoot. Jump pass, Elliott, 3. Falls for Marquette. Big bucket for the Golden Eagles.
A couple of great skip passes from Marquette, leading to threes.
And the little step through won't go. Rebounded by Elliott. 2:45 to go. Marquette by 7, trying to pull away late. Carton again, got the screen, backs it up to Lewis. Shot clock at 8. Elliott off the bobble all the way in, using the window. Greg Elliott with 11, and Marquette stretches the lead, matching its largest at 9. Moore, the quick 3, rims out, offensive rebound, Polycap, and he puts it back in. 18 points. 6 rebounds and a timeout, with DePaul back within 7 at home.
Well, what a little surge from Marquette. Couple of good skip passes. The first one from Kobe McEwen to DJ Carton, knocking it down in front of the bench, and then DJ Carton skips it to Greg Elliott, who has been awesome of late for Marquette.
Marquette by 7, 2:07 remaining in the second half with Nick Baugh. I'm Kevin Kugler. DJ Carton has been pacing this Marquette late rally. 17 points, 7 rebounds for Carton to go with 3 assists. And the real story has been his play in the second half. First half, 3 points, 1 for 5 from the floor. Second half, different DJ Carton, Nick, 14 points on 5 of 6 shooting.
He's been great, and he's got to shoulder such a big load for Marquette. He's got to do all the ball handling, all the creating, and oftentimes they just give him a high pick and roll, and he's got to make everything happen, and he has in this second half. But 2 minutes left to seal the deal, and DePaul is going to come with some full court pressure.
This score was the score as DJ Carton drives it up and absolutely decimates the rim. Nobody stopped him, and he finished with a flourish.
DJ Carton disrespecting rims.
Goodness. Inside, and that one hangs for Polycap and falls. And Polycap with 20. That is his best offensive performance as a DePaul Blue Demon, and he's just 4 points off his career high. He had 24 against Stony Brook when he played for Manhattan back in 2018.
This is one way to break a press. Just let DJ Carton dribble all the way through it and go dunk on everybody. I'm telling you, this guy, he has put a bunch of Big East defenders on posters. This is an athletic point guard.
My goodness. They had a little blood, so they're going to get the bandage on. Did he cut his hand on the rim?
I think so. I think he did.
Man, I hate when that happens, Nick. I hate when I cut my hand on the rim.
It's just a problem we all have, right?
Goodness. It's Greg Elliott. Elliott tonight, double figures with 11. Marquette's 5-0 when he's in double figures. Up 7 with 1:20 to go. McEwen, back it goes to Garcia for 3, and that out of bounds to DePaul with 1:05 to play.
Obviously time now not on the side of DePaul. They got to attack quick. Doesn't have to be a 3. Get more going downhill at the rim. And if you're Marquette, build a wall. Don't foul. But you got to make sure that you are making more see bodies.
Caps had the hot hand, instead backs it out. Nave, a little up and under, ducked through the traffic and scooped it up. It's a 5-point game.
Gotta have poise now if you're Marquette. Handle the rock.
And the official stopping this one. We're going to go look at this. Quick stoppage in play. They'll head to the monitor right now.
Yeah, watch Kobe McEwen kind of discard Charlie Moore, see if there's anything flagrant here. That's, I don't know, that looks like Moore trying to kind of sell it, but take another look at it. There certainly was some hand fighting and a shove of some kind. The degree, I suppose, is debatable, but there's a little bit of contact there, and the arm got extended by Kobe McEwen, and Moore went to the ground. And so sometimes perception can be reality in the eyes of the official, even when you're looking at it on a replay. This will be a really interesting call from the officials.
Well, Dave Lato was in the background saying he used his elbow. He threw an elbow to the head or neck area of Charlie Moore. You could see on the other view we showed Dave Lato kind of offering a forearm shiver motion, and the officials prompted to go look at this. Now they can call a flagrant, but they cannot just assign a common foul. There was no foul whistled on that play, so they're not going to be able to go to this and say that's just a common foul. It's either a flagrant or it's a play on.
Yeah, because it's a good point.
Watch Dave Lato in the background here.
But it's a good point, Kevin, because they didn't call a foul in real time. You're right, Lato wanting to Macho Man Randy Savage flying elbow call on Kobe McEwen. But it's like it's going to be no foul, they're just going to play on.
So the people's elbow is not called. And we play on with 50.5 seconds remaining in this second half.
And Marquette's had problems with full court pressure, even at Carolina. Some of the full court pressure got to Marquette a little bit, so this thing's far from over.
McEwen jumps it across the timeline. And there's the foul given. Jamal Cain, 70% foul shooter. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And he'll go to the line for free throws here.
You look at Cain, he has 9 rebounds. He has done a good job on the glass, coming in from a guard spot and cleaning up some loose change. It's good to see from Mr. Cain.
Yeah, Marquette has trailed all night on the glass, and they trail now 37-35. But Kane has more than held his own, as has DJ Carton with 7 rebounds from the point guard spot. (72-65). Marquette's lead is 7, and DePaul now will push with more. Salnave inside, pump fake, gets the 2, wanted one more, didn't come, and a timeout used by DePaul, their final timeout. 34.7 seconds to go. Good finish coming in Chicago. Five-point game, Nick Baugh. As cold as these teams were for most of this second half, they're closing hot. DePaul's hit their last 4 shots. Marquette's hit 7 of their last 9. You see the game reset. It's going to be 2 shots on any foul. Possession arrow favoring DePaul, but not favoring DePaul. No more timeouts for the Blue Demons. So if they're going to get this comeback completed, they're going to have to do it without any further conversation on the side with their head coach, barring a Marquette timeout.
Yeah, and if I'm DePaul, I know you don't have a ton of time to work with, but I'd make Marquette handle one trap. See if you can't get him to cough it up, travel, something. Make him handle one trap before you foul. And now you probably got to foul.
McEwen able to get away from the foul attempt, and there's the foul. Moore tried to foul him before, and they didn't blow the whistle, and that allowed Marquette to burn a few seconds.
You certainly had to put whoever got the inbound in a legitimate trap. Just can't let him pivot and dribble unimpeded up the floor. But now Kobe McEwen will step to the line, who was hot early for 2 big throws.
That's the first point in the second half for Kobe McEwen. He's got 9. DePaul with wholesale substitutions. David Jones in, Romeo Weems returning to the lineup. Two for 2 for Kobe McEwen. Quick push for DePaul. Salnave drive, no, not going to go. Rebound, Karam's all over the place, and it trickles right back into play and into the hands of David Jones. And McEwen fouled once more with 19.6 seconds to go.
That was really good urgency from DePaul from a variety of guys. First of all, Salnave, just a hard push to get it all the way to the rim, created a rotation rebound, and Jones has got a nose for the ball. He knows how to get it. He knows how to get it up off the window, forcing Marquette to continue to handle the ball and knock down free throws.
And McEwen just hit 2 a moment ago, back for 2 more. And Kobe McEwen, 76% this year at the line, and a real nice bounce back game for Kobe McEwen tonight. Nick averaged 5.5 points over the last 6 games, lost his starting job. We talked about it earlier, how Steve Wojciechowski said he'd really reacted well to now coming off the bench, and he has tonight. Some clutch shots, big free throws there, big buckets early, and Marquette trying to close in on win number 12 this season.
But you're right, though. Kobe McEwen, really important. His shots early in the game really kind of got Marquette on point offensively, and then some clutch free throws down the stretch. So you got to like that the senior's showing the maturity, whether or not he's starting, he's coming off the bench. You trust that your minutes are going to be there, and he's maintained a positive attitude, and now he's getting positive results in a big game.
One more for Carton. 19 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and the difference night and day for DJ Carton first half to second, as he's got 20 points on the board. Time winding down. Charlie Moore Blocked off on the baseline, ball kicked out of bounds, and DePaul will have 3 seconds with which to inbound, but down 6. And the hill's going to be too steep to climb for DePaul to come back in this one on senior night at home. Moore in the corner. The 3 won't go. Rebound chased down by McEwen. That'll do it. And Marquette balances the scales. They lost at home to DePaul in January. They come back and get the win, spoiling DePaul's senior night tonight. The final score, Marquette 77, DePaul 71. So that will wrap things up for us from Wintrust Arena in Chicago. For Nick Pa and our entire FS1 crew, I'm Kevin Kugler saying so long. PBC Fight Night coming up next on FS1.